What? Let's start.
Hello everyone and welcome to the podcast. Today we'll be diving into a topic, into a very fascinating one, that when lawyers step into the public eye, are they still just an advocate or are they becoming an influencer? Joining us is Sachin Sir, a legal expert and strategist specializing in trade, customs and digital compliance. He has been working closely with Government of India on streamlining regulations under the WTO Trade Facilitation Agreement, driving paperless trade initiatives, and shaping customs policy. We'll be discussing the delicate balance between professional ethics and public exposure and how the legal profession is navigating this digital era. Sachin sir, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, both of you, and I'm glad that you are given this opportunity to talk about this topic that is very vibrant and very close to my personal experience. So, thank you.
So, sir, your work is deeply policy driven, often behind the scenes. And in today's world of social media, do you think it's still possible for lawyers to stay entirely offline and invisible?
Yeah, I think the public policy is required when it comes to the influencing and the legal fraternity. The reason being that the legal fraternity is the genesis of the colonization in India. And as far as I know, judicial structure in India has a very moral high ground for the society. And for that, there is no understanding between the society that lawyers are the moral obligators and the most ethical. They are compared to doctors that you are morally more inclined towards the profession rather than just being their own well-being. So I think rather than it's like a influencer in the society plays a very crucial role so far as the lawyer is concerned, so far as the advocate is concerned. Advocates are also the kind of social engineers. There is a great saying that law is abstract, justice is abstract, and law is the tool to achieve that abstract. Now, what do you mean by that? Justice is something that you don't get on a fixed four boundaries of definition. What is justice? Justice is something that you justify, which is just, which is which is which is fair to everyone. But can it be fair to everyone? I think it can be, but for that you need a specific tool like a wrench. How you maintain that pressure in the society that creates perfect type of influence. So I think law plays a very crucial role. And for implementing the law, you require social engineers who understand that the social fabric of this country is based on so many factors. Now, if you see that if you are comparing the advocates and the influencers, I strongly believe that in the 2025, there's a high time that you cannot tell advocates to not solicit work and not go to the public by showcasing their work. I understand that you cannot make it a fish market. You cannot make it a vendor market that where everybody is shouting that my shop is bigger than other shop. It cannot happen. But I think it is their right to showcase their work in the utmost honest way. And for that, this country required amendment in the 1960s or post-colonization laws. Post-colonization laws were based on the very fundamental structure that English people were thinking of their themselves for very high ground. And we have seen that many Indian advocates have played a very crucial role. And Nahamati gang, so many people have been in the movement of independence that played a very crucial role. Even the Muhammad Jinnah was one of the most influencer influential lawyer at that time before the case of Bhagat Singh when he threw the bomb in the car. Now, uh, now the understanding comes to the influencer that how we uh, perceive those advocates जो कि influencer बन सकता है. So back to the question, I think it's a matter of policy itself that needs to be changed. That needs to be very stringent. That needs to be very focused on what to say, what not to say. You need to be very clear about it. भाई आप क्या बोलना है, क्या नहीं बोल सकते हो. सॉलिसिट अगर नहीं करना है तो उसके लिए क्या क्या पैरामीटर्स होने चाहिए, कहाँ कहाँ बोल सकते हो, कहाँ कहाँ नहीं बोल सकते हो. या तो ऐसा ग्राउंड है इस पे एडवोकेट्स आर क्लियर अबाउट it. Not just saying soliciting is not is being illegal. It's not constitutionalized. That doesn't make sense.
Also, I want to let's say if we look at this particular thing from a different lens. Let's say there is a girl, 16-year-old. She is married to a guy. She's in a tier 3 city and she doesn't know how to read and write, but she can watch videos. She can gain that kind of information. What are her legal rights? Even comparing it to any other tier 3, tier 4 guy or girl, they can have the knowledge of their rights just by watching a video. So, from that lens, what are your perspectives on this?
I think Instagram has reached or the social media has reached so many places where the humans are not going. And so I think if the information is traveling at the pace of sound, and I think so it is the best time that you educate this country by right kind of content, by reliable kind of content. And for that, I understand that there are so many people who, in the garb of that, trying to make money by soliciting. Why we are against this word solicitation? Because it doesn't. Because if you when you are soliciting someone, you are saying that you are under the that is a good thing. कि अगर आप under powerful or someone is more knowledgeable than you, then you will feel inferior to that person. And if you are inferior to that person, then you are already submitting your senses to that person. But we don't want people to submit their senses to other person. We want this country to be educated. We want this country people to be more aware about their rights, their duties, their obligations. सिविल सेंस क्यों यूज करते हैं अपन, लीगल नॉलेज क्यों नहीं है, क्यों अपन पुलिस से डरते हैं, क्यों अपन जेल में कब जा सकते हैं कब नहीं जा सकते हैं, इन चीजों के ऊपर बहुत ज्यादा अपने हाथ में गुजरते हैं. Because we are talking about these subjects like these are the dangerous subjects. ये आपके लीगल राइट्स हैं, ये आपको पता होना चाहिए. ये पता करने के लिए आपको बहुत बड़ी जरूरत नहीं है आज तक की. आपके पास तो इंस्टाग्राम है, आपके पास फेसबुक है, आपके पास यूट्यूब है. The only thing that stops you is that कि आप पता कैसे करोगे कि कौन सही बोल रहा है, कौन नहीं, कौन अल्टीरियर मोटिव से बोल रहा है, कौन सिर्फ एजुकेशनल पर्पस से बोल रहा है, कौन चाहता है कि अपना दिमाग चमका दे और कौन चाहता है कि आपको कुछ सिखा दे. So I think it's a great opportunity, but it needs to be regulated again. It needs to be regulated.
Also, I'd like to mention a point about us. Like we as a MBA students, we are told to build our reputation online. We are told to build our reputation on socials, be on socials, LinkedIn, connect with different people, influence on platforms. So, and I want to know from the mentality of the like the thing that you mentioned, what was the reason behind that to put a stop or like they are saying to put a stop on making content and soliciting. So I want to know like what is the reason behind what could be the mentality behind that?
So I didn't get your mentality part first.
Mentality as in what could be the reasons when they thought that, okay, these all things are going wrong. I think we should we should put a full stop on that. For example, in the case of let's say the influencers, the fintech influencers, like RBI was saying that people are getting to know about different stocks and different brokers, which were not it was mostly money making strategies for the influencers. But the same thing if we compare it to in the case of lawyers, what is that mentality? Why are they putting a like stop on that?
So the mentality, it's the mentality. I think it's with the evolution of the Indian jurisprudence. Indian jurisprudence came from the high moral practice. उन्होंने बोला कि आपका जो प्रोफेशन है वो मॉरली बहुत वैल्यूड है. So when you are, uh, I tell you a very strange thing that I heard in my education days. We used to wear we wear a gown to our feet, right? They after two factors they are gown they come. So पीछे there is a robe, small robe. So a very senior counsel told us that this robe is in the way back when we used to wear it in British time. It used to be a pocket. So we were not taking fees from the clients. The client came, the client asked for the problem, we solved the problem to the court, and they gave whatever they wanted to behind our back, put it in the pocket. So we were not taking money at that time. And if you see the fee structure that is given in the Advocates Act, still I'm talking about the current Advocates Act. The current fees might be around 15,000, 25,000 at max. But do you know the real fees in the real world when a good lawyer charge?
It's upwards of
It's less.
huge. I'm not
It's huge. It's in sometimes goes in crores for just one day, for just one hearing, like 5 minutes, 15 minutes, 3 hours, right? So that's the mentality, that's the Indian jurisprudence mentality through. कि आप पैसे के लिए काम नहीं करते हो, आप काम कर रहे हो सोशल फैब्रिक को बचाए रखने. सोशल फैब्रिक को बचाने के लिए आप ये चीज पहले काम कर रही हो. आई थिंक नाउ वी ऑल नो दैट दिस इज हाउ दैट्स नॉट द थिंग्स वर्क्स आउट, राइट? अब आपको जरूरत है एक नए चीजों को अमेंड करने की, नए लॉज को लेकर आने की. अब आपको जरूरत है वो पुराने के अनुसार बातें जो आपने चला रखी है, लेकिन उनको सोचने की जरूरत है. आपको नए यंग ब्लड के साथ में अगर आपको मैच करना है, देन यू हैव टू गो थ्रू बाय देयर ओन लीगल और टेक्नोलॉजिकल sound mind that they are, the world is facing the AI. And we are at the verge of the huge evolution of artificial intelligence. The world is now going to change. Now the whole world is going to change. Do you think that we will survive if we play by the books of 1960s? I have no idea. So
I agree to that.
I think आप अल्टीमेटली कहीं ना कहीं इन चीज़ों को कनेक्ट करोगे और इन चीज़ों से ही ओवरकम करना पड़ेगा जो आपने अभी तक चला. Soliciting is just the payback thing. Now I think it's a good time that you verify things, you take a common playground जहाँ पे आप कुछ रूल्स और रेगुलेशन सेट करें, उसके बेसिस के ऊपर आप लोगों की जरूरत है, अब आप इन ग्राउंड्स को रखेंगे. और वो जो ग्राउंड्स होंगे वो आज की टेक्नोलॉजी और आज के यंग माइंड के अकॉर्डिंगली हो सकते हैं. अदरवाइज इट वोंट सर्वाइव.
Now, can we move towards the solutions part? I want to know what are your thoughts on maybe integrating AI in content so that let's say if there is a content which possesses false information, it's just an advertising strategy for the lawyer. So can we do a, like, what are your thoughts on this? Can we integrate AI on such platforms? Second, I want to know what are your thoughts on integrating different let's say bodies of government where they can fact check the information.
Like, it's a great idea. We have seen that there are so many social media and even the news channels after the media like mainstream media is now being verified on those platforms, and now there are so many YouTube channels that whose information is being checked on those platforms. So I think now when we come to the AI integration, I think AI can do everything. AI can do powerless job in everything. Now, talking about the fact check about the veracity of the things that are done on online platform, I think AI do play a very crucial role. You can like आप अगर आप ये नहीं भी करते सपोज लाइक वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट इंडिया राइट तो आज की डेट में आरबीआई ने फाइनेंस इन्फ्लुएंसर्स के ऊपर जिस तरह से उनको बोला कि आप व्हाट यू कैन नॉट डू व्हाट यू कैन डू
There are some restrictions that we have.
रूल्स एंड लोन्स की लिस्ट को वो आपकी खुली फिर उसके बाद में आप यही से एक्सपेक्ट क्या करते हैं ये आप ये से तो आप एक फॉर्म को देखिए कुछ चीजें उससे मॉनिटर करवा सकते हैं for that you will need a prompt what is prompt is do's and don'ts so first a proper legislative actions is required if a law firm if a lawyer if a advocate if a attorney solicitor anybody who is not legal fraternity wants to share the knowledge or wants to upskills their way to get the client reach, which is I don't think is a wrong thing. Getting client and getting clients is one of the focus job for the education or for the lawyer. तो उसके लिए आपको एक ग्राउंड बनाना पड़ेगा. For that you will require a certain kind of रूल बुक कि आप इंस्टाग्राम से या तो आप एक रूल रेगुलेशन शेयर कर दें कि आप इन इन चेक मार्क्स के बाद में आप किसी को लीगल एंटिटी के अकाउंट चलाने का परमिट दें या फिर ब्लू टिक दें एंड दैट विल बी वेरीफाइड ऑन लोग ताकि कम से कम उन्हीं अकाउंट्स को फॉलो कर सकें जिनके बेसिस के ऊपर ब्लू टिक मिला है बिकॉज नाउ पीपल आर relying upon those principles those guidelines that is being implemented by the government, not by the any notice is given by the social media platform. इसका कुछ मतलब है. तो rather than going into any kind of thing कि आप किसी ने अकाउंट बनाया और कुछ भी बोल दिया, इस rather कि आप किसी इंसान को पहले ही वेरीफाई करो और उसके बाद में उसको कंटेंट डालने के लिए एलिजिबल बोलो कि आप एलिजिबल हो. अदरवाइज जस्ट अ पर्सनल अकाउंट. अगर आपको बिजनेस अकाउंट चलाना है तो यू पे बाय आई थिंक दैट्स द वे.
Do you think it's a discrimination for a particular profession?
So every profession plays a very different role in their own family. I think that if you are talking about we all are professionals ultimately, right? Suppose now there are consulting firms. Okay. Consulting firms are required to advertise themselves because their reach is more vibrant than the legal firms. Because law firms and the advocates are only supposed to work in a particular parameter or four boundaries of law. Because other professions require their own periphery. They have their own rule books. So I think making a rule for one, like, you cannot compare it like this. It's very it's a strange thing that we compare doctors to lawyers. Sometimes we heard that these are professional. So every profession is different. And so every profession requires different kind of enrichment, different kind of strategy to grow into that particular economy.
So, Sachin sir, thank you for your wonderful insights. It was really very good.
Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you, sir.